Welcome back to Unknown and Talented. My name is Jelan Abrams, and to the left of me, I have my beautiful wife, Char. Oh, you guys should introduce yourself. Good, good, Charnae.
I'm Charnae, like you said, Charnae Abrams.
So today, what we want to talk about diet.
Yeah.
So we have been working on changing our diet because health is wealth. You always hear that, but we want to make sure that we're super locked in to making sure that we stay healthy so we can live as long as humanly possible. Okay, that's not what you.
I mean, I'm believing Psalms 91 for long life and salvation. Um, you know, uh, I don't know if I want to be the oldest person on earth, but we do pray that as long as God intends for us to be on earth, that our bodies, that we're in agreement with how we're stewarding the vessels and the temples He gave us, so that we can have the most fruitful life, continue to be His hands and feet in the earth, continue to be able to love each other and enjoy our lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was probably over exaggerating.
I was like, longest line. I'm like, it's like you can see those videos of the people that are old and it's their birthday and they look so sad. Like all their friends is what's that song? Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Their friends are all. I don't even like that song. It's just you kept hearing the trending sound. And I was like, why is this trending? That's so sad to think about all your friends being dead. So what happens when we record at night?
Okay, this episode is going to be about diet. Okay, so what we want to first talk about is why we decided to change our diet. Okay, not to live as long as humanly possible. I was over exaggerating. Mainly, we're. Are you good over there?
You go- just zooming on your face. What's
Oh my
happening?
gosh. Yes. So basically, the goal is to be, as healthy as we possibly can. Because people our age, we're getting in 30s, you get into 40s, you start, your bones are, different. They think your is not doing the same thing you do when you're younger. So it's very important to have that healthy diet. Like I went to the doctor recently and they said I had high cholesterol. That's all because of the foods that you're eating. So that was the reason why I decided to change my diet. How about you, baby?
For me, I would say like a lot of the changes that I made came from one, like my body was telling me that the things I was eating wasn't helping it to do what it needed to do. When I think about a lot of the gut issues, I'm on the other side of it, but I had to surrender to the fact that my body was telling me and triggering me through the way I was breaking out, through the discomfort after I ate, when I need to healthily digest, through the way that my body was processing the food. It was letting me know like something's wrong here. You don't feel well. You feel more lethargic and tired after you eat than when should actually feel energy from the food. That's what it should be, an energy source to our body. I think I had romanticized food in a way where I was not thinking about the health of it, because we love to watch cooking things where everything is greased up, fried up, slapped on the side. And so things that are actually healthy and had just a natural good cadence to it, I didn't have an affection for. So my body was triggering me, telling me no. And then I think even bigger changes we made happened after we fasted January this year, because I was really praying like, God, if there are areas of my life I fully haven't surrendered to you, show me. And I realized that even food had become an idol, because it was not about food doing what it's supposed to do, which is to fuel my body for the work God gave me. But it was a lot of emotional eating and me just fueling my flesh and giving it what it wanted, even if it was killing me. And I was like, that's an issue. So I needed to change what it looked like for me to eat.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love it. Actually, I wanted to add a little more from me. Basically, I love fitness, so the better you eat, the better your body's gonna be. So that's another reason why I decided to change my eating habits. I don't know if you ever see like them things on Instagram and they be like going to the grocery store. They be like, "This is trash. This is trash. This is garbage. This is killing you." And it's just funny. It's like when you watch it, you laugh and think they're over exaggerating. But as we did research, we realized that a lot of that stuff is real. So basically, when you go to the grocery store, you honestly want to stay on the outsides of the aisles. The things in the aisles are going to be the things that are not good for you. So if you think about going to the grocery store, the minute you walk in, you go to the right, that's your fruits and vegetables. When you start going around, that's where the meat is, and then you keep going around, you're gonna see like the eggs, the milk, and all those things like that. So the things inside the aisles are the things you really don't need, and those are kind of the things to stay away from. But a lot of stuff in grocery stores are not good for you, which is actually surprising after we started doing research like this.
Yeah, and I think even I don't know how far back you want to go for people who are having first conversation with us. This was a progression. I think that's important to say, I guess, thinking about food, because we didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, everything is really bad for us. It was, again, going through for me years of realizing that my body sort of didn't like certain things, intolerances to certain things when it comes to certain things of dairy, my body triggering me. And so I think that was telling me that my body is not liking how food is interacting. But this is, again, not a immediate like change, like all of a sudden now for you either. You also made changes where you had like separated from certain sweets, just drinking water. So I would say maybe even encourage some people about that, because I think this is something that can also be a journey, and it's been a journey for us. So what did the sort of early parts of your journey look like?
Yeah, yeah, no, you was talking about like your face breaking out and stuff. When I was young, my face broke out like crazy, and I honestly didn't know what to do. I've been using all the face creams and all that stuff, and nothing really worked. But reason why they didn't work is because a lot of those things out there. I know we're not talking about that, but a lot of those things out there are made for lighter skin. It's not really made for the black skin or the brown skin or the darker skin. So a lot of those things was like you're messing up your skin. But I didn't know that, as being young. So one thing I decided to do was actually cut out like as much sugar as I can. So now what I do is just drink water. Like I don't drink any juice, soda, milk, not even really milk either, but basically it's just water. And that's, it's been helping me. I don't know how much it's really been helping me, but that's just something that I've been doing. And I know you're supposed to drink a lot of water anyway, so
Yeah.
it's totally fine with me to just drink that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what else? What else? You said, oh, and also I was on a fitness journey as well, where I decided to cut out all the sweets, and that was a big challenge, but it definitely helped when I saw the results that I had. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think throughout our time of growing and our bodies maturing, especially when you go from the puberty into adulthood, there are things you start realizing about your body, and your body is just going to keep signaling you as you get older. So many times we're in our 30s now. You see those posts of like, "Oh, I'm 30s and my knees aren't kneeing like they used to," or things like that. And like we joke, but this is your body signaling you while you're still young enough to make changes before you're getting that awful diagnosis, or before you're like, not trying to be negative. It's just before your body gets to the point where it's tried to signal you and you kept ignoring it. Before your body's got to the point where it's trying to signal you and you ignored it, and now you have put on the weight, your body is shutting down, your organs aren't doing things that they should be doing, your bones are aching in your body. Like all of these things are pointing to the fact of your body telling you, help,
Hmm.
help.
Hmm.
What are you doing? What are you giving me?
I'm
Help.
drowning. I'm in the middle of the ocean and I'm drowning, and you keep feeding me food. You need to take me out that water. That's what your body's saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just visualize somebody in the middle tells me help, help, and you out here just giving them food. Here you go, here. It's like I need to get help out of the water.
That's sad.
Um,
That's a sad image.
yeah, I'm just saying but honestly, that's what it is though. It's like
Yeah.
the thing about it, like you talk about gaining weight, right? When nobody's at their high school weight, nobody. But it's like right after high school, once you get out of your family's house, you start eating whatever you want. Your mom is not going to be saying, you can only eat certain things. Once you get out, you want to eat junk food every single day. We start eating terrible when we get outside the house, and then the weight keeps going on.
Yeah, and let's talk about that a little bit, because yeah, you're in your home and your parents are probably trying to do their best, even if they're giving you a lot of stuff that, like, we look back now, we're like, okay, some of the stuff is processed, it's not the best, but they're still at least trying to make home cooked meals and things for you. I got to campus and I was like, Chick-fil-A every day. You
Hmm.
bet your bottom dollar. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I remember one of my my friends from the time, she was like, girl, we're going to the cafeteria. And it's like, I would get like fries and some chicken and, the dessert. And she was like, girl, you need to eat a salad. And I was like, Like I ain't go away from my parents' house. I can be forced to eat vegetables. And that's embarrassing because it's like, come on now, grow up.
Yeah.
But really, it's like certain things that you get out of that house and your parents have like forced you to as a child. And if you're not, I think it's like, how do you create a love for these things and not forced? Because I think if I actually loved vegetables, if I loved eating them, then I would have continued to love them going off. But I didn't love them. It was just like something I had to do because I was in their house. So yeah, when I got out, I was eating trash.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people blow up. They call it A&T. It was like freshman 10. It's like, it might have been freshman
I think it's
15.
freshman 15.
It's 15?
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. Hey, I didn't get that.
Me
But
neither.
but they call it freshman 15 because you first of all, you're not active anymore and you're eating whatever you want. I just remember in the cafeteria they used to have burgers every day, fries every day. They used to have pizza every day, and then like different meals change, but most of the part is burgers, fries. They had wing night where the wing night was crazy. The wings was fire. The wings was fire. But I'm just saying the
Yeah.
lines was crazy for wing night, but it's just like
Yeah. We
that's
had
not.
fried chicken Wednesday. Child, we packed them black people packed out fried chicken Wednesday.
Mm-mm. But I think the challenge is that when you are leaving your house, is like you really can't cook. You live in a dorm room, you get fed what they feed you, and you just have to eat it.
Yeah. But I mean there are healthy options. I think it's that duality of if you want to eat something healthy, then there are options because there are things that I could have gotten. Like I said, it wasn't that there were not salad bars or vegetables or things like that. It's like we gravitated towards what we like. So if you don't change those habits, like you said, we're not talking to college kids, but if you never grow out of a college kid who's like, I'm on my own, I can eat junk, then now you are a grown adult and you're like, it's my house, I can eat junk. And it's like now you're still 30 some years old. And it's like, when's the last time you ate a vegetable? And that's ridiculous because your body needs raw fruits and vegetables.
hmm But I think you did hit a good point. But I think that's the challenge of being healthy is because all the stuff tastes good. The junk food. I remember high school cookout. We love cookout. That tastes good. You get to college wing night. You love wing night. It tastes good. So now, as you are an adult and on your own, and now you start to cook more because you realize going out is expensive. You still like those stuff with a bunch of salt, a bunch of sugar, and those are the things you have. Those are the things in your fridge, and you can't avoid it. Because I think a thing that we don't think about is that we think junk food is really bad. How everything cooked in the house is good. It's not. We've been doing a lot of research on this. A lot of those sauces, a lot of those, anything you add to your food it's a lot of salt. It's processed. It's a bunch of ingredients that are not good for you. And now you think you're eating healthy, and you're really not.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so many layers because even my friend, I told her like we're eating pretty clean and she was like, what does that mean? And I think just to break down for you what that's looked like for us. We don't eat beef or pork.
You gotta say that again. You didn't say it clearly. You gotta
We
say we
don't.
don't. I don't know what you said.
Sorry, I was say it came out. We don't eat beef or pork, and these are decisions we made. We are not dietitians. What medical disclaimer up here? We're not doctors, we're not dietitians. This is what's working well for us.
Well, it's actually some proof behind that.
But
Beef.
we're not doctors or dietitians. You put your medical disclaimer. I'm not getting sued because it's proof behind a lot of stuff. We're not medical doctors, but we're not. I'm gonna go through my list, and then you can speak to your
I don't need to
medical
talk
proof.
anymore.
But
Go ahead.
I'm not a medical doctor. If Jelan want to get sued on YouTube, he can. But we're only eating lean meats just because of the way that the body processes meat, things being anti-inflammatory for me, for someone who previously had gut issues. This process is better in my body. Raw fruits and veggies consistently throughout the day, whether it be in the form of a smoothie, as an appetizer before the meal, introducing things like kimchi when we make stir fries, or just adding in components of raw fruits and veggies for most, if not all meals.
And not and put the emphasis on not cooked.
Yeah.
When we talk about
We
raw.
don't hit it all the time perfect. I'm not going to lie, but trying to get something that is in fact, like you said, not cooked, just to get those raw, like just as close to how it naturally comes into the earth as possible when you can. So a good salad, you're good, carrots and broccoli and things that you can eat raw, eating them in that form. And then alongside of that, still having some lightly cooked veggies. Again, you don't want to cook down the nutrients, but we're wanting to get those pieces into our diet, keeping things really low on sodium, really minimal for sugar, no high fructose corn
That
syrup.
was a big one. That was a big one that I
Hmm.
made sure that we got knitted early. I think that was like one of the first things I was told you to stop doing.
Yeah.
Because high fructose, that's why we're not, like she said, we're not, what's it called? We're not, but we're not doctors, all right? Good. High fructose corn syrup is something that doesn't digest in our body. So that's going to be in a lot of syrups, going to be in ketchup, going to be like in barbecue sauce, a lot of different sauces that's in, it doesn't digest. So you want to kind of get like the organic version of it or the more expensive, because barbecue sauce is like $2. You know what I'm saying? If you get the
Yeah.
regular kind, you want to make sure you get the more expensive. Stop buying the Auntie Jemima's syrup. That's not good for you. Buy the more expensive stuff that's more organic, because it's not going to have that high fructose corn syrup. Come on now, say that thing.
And yes, I mean, I think we can get into a bunch of specifics. I wasn't going to name them, but I would say, like, as far as like, oh, buy this, don't buy this, things like that. But I will say, we wanted to look at things, and at the core of all of the things that we cut out, it came down to digestion. You may be on the other side. It's like, girl, I didn't have gut issues. That feels like a personal problem. But your microbiome is the like inner working of your gut. It's like your second brain. So a lot of sicknesses, a lot of diseases are linked there. And so if
Hmm.
your body it
Sorry,
has
sorry, sorry.
things.
Saying some of the sicknesses: diabetes, cancer, Parkinson's, high blood pressure. It's so many things attached to what you eat. So a lot of times when people get these diagnoses that they have, one of these things, it's kind of hard to treat it, is because you've been eating a certain way for a long time, and then your body has been quietly, been having this in your body, and now you have to go through some kind of procedure to, trying to help you, which is going to be hard. And I can speak on this because I've had my grandmother pass away from Parkinson's. I had my other grandmother pass away from cancer. My grandfather passed away from diabetes. So all of these things I've had in my family, and now I know that I can't, eat just regular. I have to eat different because it affects me now. You know what I mean? They all passed before I was 21. I lost three of them before I was 21. You know what I mean? So it's like it affects me. So I know that now when I go ahead and eat, I gotta remember I have cancer in my family line. I gotta be careful what I'm doing. I got diabetes in my family. I got Parkinson's. I got all these things in my family line. So now I can't go out and just eat however I want. Is because I know there's a chance that, once it's in your family, there's a chance that you can get it. So you have to be super cautious, and that's what I'm making sure I do. Did I just cut you off? But I felt passion
Yeah, I know.
behind
I
that.
know.
Like it made, like, come on now.
I know. I had to remember where I was mid thought because I was listening to you. The mid thought was that the microbiome. But to your point, that is that is the place where all of these things that are coming into your body are being processed. And if your body is not processing these things, if it's not getting the signals that it needs from food to heal your body and to produce the energy and the wellness that it needs, on the opposite end, it's giving your body cues to destruct because these things that aren't uh, processing well in your body or that are turning into things that your body doesn't understand how to discern creates sickness in you. And it doesn't do so immediately, it's usually over time. And it's so subtly that all of these things can be, in fact, considered fine to serve, approved to be in your grocery store because it's not like I mean, it's not arsenic, it's not killing you all at once. It's just something that over time, based on what you're eating, it can slowly destroy the body. And our bodies weren't made to take things. And last thing is also seed oils. Um,
Before you get there, before you get into the seed oils.
I'm not gonna like go on a whole tangent about it because I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you this. I'm just dropping some things to research out
No,
here.
I like what you're saying, but I,
Yeah.
I like when you talked about how things are approved and people can eat. I don't know how true this is, so I didn't look it up. It's just something I've always
Don't
been
start
hearing.
dropping conspiracy theories on
It's
me.
not. No, I'm just saying this is something that I've been hearing for years. I just assume it's true. If it's not true, I
They
didn't I
gonna
didn't do
take down our
research on it.
YouTube page.
They took it. They took it. Actually, I never talked about that. They did take my YouTube page down.
Yo,
I
do
never.
it
I need
again. On your
to.
job conspiracy theories.
I need to. I need to. Talk, I need to do a episode about that. I'm gonna put it in here real quick. They took my YouTube page down. I logged in. Right. I was on there, and there's nothing to do with food. I was on my YouTube page. I'm like, why is it not loading? Because I wasn't home. I was in a hotel. I'm like, I might just be had no signal. Right. Next thing you know, the next day, I just checking my email. It says YouTube channel taken down because of I don't even know what it said. And I was like, what? I went to my YouTube page and nothing there. Couldn't even find my videos. I was just like, what is going on? I was lost because like it's like all this content that I made, I guess 4 or 5 years, not there. Like I couldn't even watch the videos either. I was just like, this is nuts. So it got back up, but it's not getting taken down again. I had to put it. I never expressed it. I never expressed it on camera. So I want to express it on camera. What was I going to talk about now? Yeah, so a lot of things are approved. I don't know if this is true or not, but they said there's a percentage amount of rat droppings they can allow in foods and still give it to you. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. It might be true too. It might be true.
It might be a lie.
But it might be a lie. It might be a lie, but that's the
We over
problem.
here trying to give people wisdom, and then you talking about rat dropping. Think of it like everything they said disqualified just because you start throwing this stuff about
It
rat
might even
dropping.
be true. It might actually you about to talk. Give me my phone. Let me check it out.
No, we're not looking this up. We're not.
Because if that's true, what's going
We're
to happen
not
then?
doctors.
That's the we don't gotta be doctors.
How you gonna approve rat droppings? That's crazy.
That's crazy, but they approve everything else. Like you're about to talk about seed oils, right? It's crazy that they approve that. Talk about seed
rat
oils.
droppings is crazy. I'm not talking deeply about seed oils outside of the fact that they were not initially created for foods, but they were cheap to create. And so now our food is full of them, even though there are not like health benefits or nutritional benefits to the body. And a lot of the diseases that Jelan spoke to earlier skyrocketed at the induction of these things into food. And so again, I think if nothing else,
a little deep in the seed oils.
I'm not
Okay,
talking about these things like I'm a doctor.
You're not a doctor,
I
but
just want
I'm
people
just
to think
saying.
more
Okay,
about their food,
okay,
and I'm
but
not going to
can
go.
you just say the 4 good seed oils that is good to eat then? At least.
I don't remember without my phone.
Okay, the good ones that are good to eat are gonna be avocado oil, olive oil, palm oil, and coconut oil. When you're buying things, those are the oils you want to look at. All those other oils, like the grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, when you see ingredients like that, those are called seed oils and they're not good for you. Charnae doesn't want to share it, but I'm going to let you know. Just do your own research to see why they're not good. We're not doctors.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to take our page down.
I'm just saying, I'm going to put some links to documentaries because I'm very much a person that I can encourage you of some things that you should look into and research, but I want you to make some decisions yourself. I don't want you to be like, Jelan and Charnae said, don't eat see those, don't eat see those. No, go.
You should say that. You should say that. That's very important.
No,
that's
you need to go fact check. Everybody believes stuff on the internet. So and so said. So okay, well, how about you do some research? Chat GPT said, who is Chat GPT? Do some research for yourself. We're going to put some links to documentaries and some things. And then I want you to research. I want you to know what's going in your body. That's all I'm saying. I'm not just going to be like, buy this instead. I'm like, do some research. Read labels. You know what I'm saying? I need you to put on your big boy and big girl pants because it's your food and you're putting it in your body. So, I want them to do their own research.
Yeah. Yep. I think more people need to eat stuff that they can pronounce. If you eat stuff that you pronounce, you might be a little more healthy. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just saying, you read them labels and you can't pronounce them things, you ain't gonna eat them. Like, what is the high fructose? I can't even say the word. That's why I don't eat it. Okay, so so we talked about what not to eat and things, but what challenges have you faced trying to now be healthy? Because you know what you should eat, you know what you should not eat, but I'm pretty sure you're not perfect after you made that decision, right?
No, I mean, I think two different pieces, and we talked about both. I think one thing is when you go places, figuring out what to eat and where you can go. And think the second thing is feeling very odd within family, within going to people's houses, going to food. You've set boundaries for yourself, and now it's like, how do I navigate this? Because I don't immediately, even the same way we start
Wait
talking,
a
and I'm
minute.
like,
Can you break down the two though? Because like we can have two different conversations.
yeah,
So talk
sorry, I
about
was
the
starting
first
to go
one.
into the second one, but I can start with the first one for clarity. Thank you, husband. I'm a submitted wife, so we're gonna go in his order. The first order is talking about going out to eat. So I think we've taken way more time reading menus, looking at ingredients, and so you can't just pull up somewhere and just oh yeah, what's close by? Let's go here. It's like no, we actually need to look at where we're going. Some places like fast food is automatically out, right? Between the oils that they're frying stuff in, the ingredients, the color dyes that they use to make the food look like something people want to eat, MSG, sweet, like it's loaded with things that are not good for you, but that taste good just to try to create a insatiable desire for something that they're selling because they're a business and they just want you to come back. Not they don't want you to live. They just need you to be alive long enough to give them some money. So
Yeah, which is crazy with the
yeah.
fast foods is that I know like McDonald's got popular because they started like gearing towards children, which is terrible. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is a good place for children. This is the worst place you can take your children ever, you know? But that's what they do, and they don't care. They don't care that you're gonna be, harming kids. They're giving it to you anyway, which
I
is
think the
crazy.
interesting thing, every business positions themselves as they're doing something good. And I think you have to think about this with your food as well, because for them, it's like, oh, we're making it quicker. People are so busy. They don't have time to eat. People are so busy. They'll position it that way. Who has time? Even for me, I'm in this unique space where I am not working in a full time capacity. I'm at home and I'm stewarding more places in my home. And it's like most people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have. And it's like, you could, I'm not guilting you if you don't, but you could make time and batch things and meal prep things. These are choices that you get to decide and make for your home. But I was just surprised when I started stepping to this area how many people I saw of women being like, when you used to make, six figures working a 9 to 5, and now you're, making six figures, but you're, working from home and doing creative things, and you want it to be with your children when they're growing up. Like there were just other women who had that same realization of like, I wanted to do life a little bit differently. I didn't want it to rob me from being able to serve my family in certain ways, and without judgment on people who do, but it's like I've been on that side of they've like I've been on that side of having that lifestyle. I want to do something different because the time I have now, I can do more to understand what we're doing, because it is a huge lift on time for me, and not in a bad way. I love it, but for me to meal prep, to do freezer meals, to home cook muffins and things like that's time. But it was a decision of like, again, understanding that my husband had family lines that we're believing are broken in the name of Jesus, but of sickness, that meant that as oneness with him for our family and for our children, that we need to do different things. And that meant for me to position covering my home and how I cover, sorry, I hit the mic, how I cover us in the food that we're eating. And that meant that that was more intentional time. But for us to all have a long life and salvation and health in that life, that's a worthwhile investment. That's an easy yes for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I like it. I think, oh, my eyes was. We got bright lights in here, and these things sometimes be getting bright. I looked at the camera. I said, "What's going on over there?" But everything is fine. Yeah, no, but hey, what were you even talking about? My bad. I was listening.
We're talking about figuring out where to go eat,
Oh,
and
going out. You
fast food, and how
fast
they
food.
position it as something good, but
Gotcha,
all
gotcha,
that
gotcha,
stuff.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Cooking is gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder. First, you find the groceries. That's you need to find. Prepping all your vegetables and meats and all that stuff. Cooking is hard. That's why people don't like meal prepping because it takes forever. I know the first time meal prep, that my entire Sunday was cooking. I was cooking chicken. I was cooking ground turkey and yeah, cooking chicken three different ways, ground turkey, making rice, making sweet potatoes, had spinach, had broccoli, and I made all these containers of food to making sure that I am not eating stuff not healthy. I was in my parents' house at the time, older, like 20s, in my 20s. But my parents, not saying anything bad about them, but they just wasn't eating as healthy as I wanted to eat because at that time I'm on a strict, fitness diet. So they weren't eating as healthy as I wanted to at the time. So I had to make sure that I don't, gear into saying, oh, they got leftover food. Let me try that. I'm making sure I'm super strict on what I'm eating. So that's gonna be something that you're gonna have to do, especially thinking about being healthy. Going out to eat is cool every now and then. We still do it. We definitely don't go to fast food restaurants, but we just make sure we do research on the places that we go, making sure they have high is it high end ingredients, high quality ingredients, which is hard to find as well, but we just try to do the best we can. But definitely we limit the times we do it, and most of the time we are eating super clean in the house.
Yeah, yeah, and eating small portions of things because it is possible that if, someone sort of to the second point of like if someone's having a celebration, if you're going out, it's like, okay, if everything else that I'm eating in the week, because for us, that's sort of our game plan. If everything that we eat during our week is clean, we're sticking to our parameters, our boundaries. And so if we have one meal that week, you know, 2 meals in a month where we maybe are doing this and we're somewhere else and we're eating someone else's food, then that isn't wrecking our whole flow of what we've been doing. And then we're feeding the body what it needs. Again, those raw fruits and veggies and kimchi and sauerkraut, things that are good to your gut to try to reinstill what it needs. Because you don't want to make, I think for us, it's like, again, we have people that are still making decisions about their life. They're still in their journey, in their process. So you don't want other people to feel guilty about where they are, but you still can't lessen your boundary. Our pastor's been doing a series about toxic, and it's like setting those boundaries. Like, I'm not judging you for where you are, but it's like, no, I don't want this. And it's hard. I mean,
It's
even when
hard.
people have to, oh, would you like some of it? No, I'm okay. I decline. You can respectfully decline. I'm not going to eat that because it's like, I know why I'm doing what
Yeah,
I'm
look, I
doing.
don't eat that stuff. That's what I say. I
No,
don't
you
eat
know,
that.
I'm sorry, I'm snitching on him. He had a little, just a, we fall down, but we get up. Okay. He had a little slip up yesterday and I was looking at him the whole time. We got in the car. He was like, babe, were you ready to go? Cause you was just standing there looking at me. I was like, no, I was just looking at you. I was just watching you. Because we're staying tight this year. So it's a process. We have moments. We're human.
Yeah, I think the challenge definitely for me, I love sweets. So that's probably my toughest thing. So even now we were by, and I think that's a good thing as well. Well, I don't want to get into that yet. But basically my thing is like I love sweets. So if somebody's offering me some sweets, it's hard to say no. I know one thing when I go to work, I say no to everybody. So I don't know if anybody from work is watching. I say no to all y'all. You know why? I had sweets one time and I was sick for a week. So I said, I'm not taking sweets from nobody at the job because I'm not getting sick again. Okay, that's the one thing. Um, but the second thing is that a lot of times when you go to work, if you especially you work in a place where they have multiple, then you're going in the office or going into the whatever spot you're going to work. A lot of times they'll give out free food. I remember I worked in a warehouse. Every now and then they used to give us subs, and the things that they give you are not going to be the healthiest things. I know sometimes they want to give people pizza parties and do all this extra food stuff, but those is when you have to be, strong. Like for me, I take lunch with me every single day because I know at work they might try to give us some free. It's always something. They got some free muffins in the break room. They got cookies in the break room. They got pizza. And it's like none of that stuff is good for you. You know what I mean?
This is random, but I think about it. Why is food such a, I think, like I said, when I was fasting, I was thinking about my relationship to food because I was like, why is food something that can be baited with us like that? Like it's, you think about that. We're wired to even celebrate with, oh, something happened. Let's go eat. Why is it not like, you know, oh, this happened. Let's go work out. Let's go to church. Let's go for a jog. Like everything is food. It's like, oh, it's my birthday. Let's eat. Oh, I got a promotion. Let's eat. Oh, we hit a goal, guys. Here's some food. And then again, like you said, what you're getting is not even good for you. So it's like, why am I being, I feel like, Hansel and Gretel, when the witch gives them, like feeds them little treats, and then she trying to fatten them up so that she can kill them. That's what it
Eat
feels
them.
like.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
yeah.
why are you trying to give me all the stuff that's not good for me as a reward? Like, thanks for slowly trying to kill me. No, thank you.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. I don't know. For me, The way I feel about the work environment is different, so I'm gonna shut my mouth.
I
I ain't
mean,
gonna
I'm
talk
just
about
talking like in general. Like, why do we associate like
food
food
with
with,
everything.
yeah, like with
I guess I
everything?
guess I guess you're thinking about time though. It's like you think about if you're gonna spend time, you're leaving the house, it might take 30 minutes to get there. You spend 2 hours there and take 30 minutes to get back. That's like 3 hours. You gotta eat something during that time. That's what I think about. Because
Mm,
if somebody invites me out and I'm with them for 2 hours and then I come back home and I still gotta get something to eat, it's like, Dad, you could have given me some food. Like I'm hungry. No.
mm. Yeah, I don't know. I
So
don't know.
that's it. But I just think like and I think the thing about it is like when they have like get-togethers, it's like so cheap. It doesn't matter, on bad food that's not good for you is cheap. I saw this one post. This guy actually sent me. He was talking about church, how like every time they have like a church event, is always like unhealthy food. Like it's like they're gonna give you the chicken. They're gonna give you the. It's always I don't know because I'm new to church, but there's a lot of times they give you stuff that are not really good for you with the church cookouts and stuff.
Mm. I have no portion because even the church that we went to before, they didn't really give us like no food or nothing
They ain't
like
give us
that. So
nothing.
yeah, so I'm just like,
No, they did.
I
They
just,
did. They did. Remember we went outside and they had the hot dogs and the burgers and stuff like that?
I'm just saying that's every organization. We're not going to talk about the ecclesia, but I think
I was just saying
as a whole,
everywhere. Okay, we're not talking bad about
everywhere.
church. We're not talking bad about I'm
There
just
we
saying
go.
every place.
Every
There's
place.
no place that gives you food and it's gonna be something healthy because it's gonna be
Nobody wants to give
expensive.
you a salad. Nobody's like, we're celebrating. Here's fruit. I think that's the point. It's that across the board.
What I'm mad about is when people invite me to places and they don't got no water. Like, how do y'all not have water? We ain't gonna talk about it, but why do you not have water? I'm just saying, like, water? Like, soda's cheaper than water. I didn't think soda's cheaper than water. I was upset. I didn't show I was upset, but I was just like, y'all don't got no water. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that's just the point. Like, they're not even healthy, not even. I'm sorry. I got my.
You
What's
done?
next on
You all
the.
right?
What's next on the list?
You okay?
Um,
Um,
go ahead. No, I'll go. Um, what you want to do as well to make it easier for you not to have these cravings or think about something that's unhealthy is control what you're bringing in your house. So we actually make a grocery list of the things that we want. So it's going to be the meals that we're going to get for the day, I mean for the week, any kind of fruit, any kind of vegetables. If we want to have like a little bit of snack, we're going to put that on there, but try to be as healthy as possible what you're bringing in so you're not in the house now eating a full bag of cookies in a day. Um, I say that because that's what I did because I had it in the house and I was like, shoot, I want it. So I think that's a big thing to make sure you have control over what you're bringing in your house because that's going to help you have that healthy habits. Because if you don't have cake, if you don't have cookies, you don't have ice cream in your house, it's kind of hard to eat it.
No, I think that's really important. And I think how you bring things into your home, even there's ways and tips and tricks that people are trying to be, I think, more mindful. There's something that's been going viral. I have to look it up because I wanted to get it right. The 5 4 3 2 1 method, where you do 5 vegetables, 4 fruits, 3 proteins, 2 sauces or spreads, 1 grain or bread, and then you can choose an optional treat for yourself. So goal there is to get more of your veggies, more of your fruits. Like you said, talking about shopping around like the perimeters. So I thought that was cool because I think people are. I'm sorry. I think people are um, trying to understand more about what we eat, especially with so much things of like pesticides and hormones. And there's so much going into our food, and we are seeing a skyrocketed just burst of sickness and diseases and things. So people do want to understand, but they want really simple ways. So something like that is just a really simple method of how can I be really intentional about what I get. I have enough meals that I can do through getting these couple of things, and then I can try to start making better decisions. So I think trying to even keep it simple, and this is, I think, the simple but easy thing, right? When we were fasting, we were like, we're gonna have raw fruits and vegetables. So you know what that meant? When girls were like, oh, that's hard because like I don't really cook or whatever. You have to cook a salad. You don't have to cook a smoothie. Sometimes, like when you think about making these changes, it will be a like knee jerk to you because you want things that are not good for you, that have strong things, but your body really just needs the food for energy. Again, I think we romanticize food in a way where we love these gluttonous things that are killing us. Stop it. I wish it was a nice way to say it. I think fasting was really a kindness from God to us because while it was doing a spiritual work, it was also giving us a moment of pause. So when we came back and we're like, we want to make these changes, our body had already had a moment of disconnect from these things that weren't good for us. So as we started implementing more and more things that are healthy, our palate, I think, has been changed as well. Like our palate and what we think is good is different. And now it's like if I do have something sweet, when we do be like, oh, we're gonna go somewhere to get this, and I'm like, God, this is so sweet. And it's not like, this is, oh, go, just sweet. I'm like, oh, this is really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, because your body gets used to that sweetness. It get used to that. Basically, it's a drug. Honestly, the sugar and all that stuff is a drug. So your body gets used to it, and the more and more you get it, you're trying to chase that sugar high of what you have.
Mhm.
So now is when you stop getting it. Now when you can eat it again, you're like, this is really not that good because your body's not feeding it anymore. You know what I mean? Your body just wants to get that sugar rush. But pretty much, if you stop taking it, stop eating that. I said taking it like it's drugs. If you stop eating, if you stop eating the sugar, your body's not gonna want it anymore. So now when you eat it, it's not like, oh man, this tastes so good. It's gonna be like, this is a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think it's just changing your appetite. I
there you go.
think,
That was better.
yeah. And it's not an easy thing. I think it's a worthwhile thing because I think also when you are navigating things, like I didn't tell you this yesterday, but it was weird. So I used to get really bad car sick, but it wasn't always. I think around like teenager years, I started getting really bad car sickness. And so I always ride with like headphones in because they say sometimes listening to music, something about that cadence can help taking Dramamine or something. So yesterday, we went to church for Jelan's baptism. Hey, praise God. And so our dad was like, oh, he's going to drive. And I'm thinking, ah, man, I need to take my Dramamine. Now I'm getting stuff ready because we're going to church or whatever. And I don't take it. And I'm in the car and I was thinking, I was like, oh man, I don't want to get a headache this early in the day and get sick. And I didn't get sick at all. And I'm like not even being fun. Like if I'm riding in the back seat of somebody, like it's car, like teenagers, parents driving you in the back, like I had to have headphones and I had to have something because if not, like the movement, I would get nauseous and I start getting a headache. And I'm like riding and I'm like, oh Lord. And then I just keep riding and I'm riding and I'm like, I don't feel sick. And I was like, whoa. Whoa, like, was that even my body telling me? So I think there are the things like we talked about so many things you can change, but the point of that long story is that your body will start telling you through its reaction or lack of a reaction if it likes things. I don't wake up and feel like my hands are extra swollen or that their body muscles are extra tight. Oh, I don't feel this achiness when, I don't get extra indigestion issues and heartburn. Those things are not, just take me your time. We're so used to just putting a band-aid on top of things where your body is trying to say, help me. Hey, it's not good for me. We just ignore it. We have become very comfortable ignoring our bodies and just shoving literally drugs and prescription onto things that your body is trying to be kind to you and tell you that something that you're giving it does not like.
Honestly, even talking about we're actually gonna end the episode pretty soon, but actually talking about the prescriptions and vitamins. Yes, it was 2 days ago. I looked at one of my vitamins and the first ingredient was sunflower oil. And I said, whoa, what am I putting my, I'm thinking this is something that's going to help me. And the first ingredient on there was something that wasn't healthy, which is kind of crazy. And I think a lot of things that we are eating and putting in our body aren't healthy. I just want a quick story. So we went to Georgia.
We're at the vineyard, we're walking past it, and there's a sign that says, like, don't come near because of pesticides. And so it's roped off, it's bridged off. We hear a little girl, and she's looking at it, and she's like, what are pesticides? And she was like, pesticides, and her, whoever's with her auntie mother was like, pesticides are these really bad things that they spray on vegetables and things, and they can kill you. And the little girl was like, oh, if they can kill us, why do they put it on our food? And it just was like, dang, like, yeah, like why do they allow things that can kill us to be put on stuff that we're gonna eat? From the mouth of babes, children be asking them real questions like, you know what, small child? That's a good question.
That's a great question. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think we get older and we stop asking questions. And I think we have to get back to that childlike nature, asking questions about what we're putting into our bodies.
Yeah, I just remember thinking about like children, thinking about like the milk commercials. Like you said, you're supposed to drink milk for strong bones and all that stuff. And then now you get older, you realize milk's not even good for humans, period. From the cows anyway. You never heard of that?
I'm not getting into things that's a medical.
Well, you talked about pesticides, right?
Well, we all know pesticides is killing it.
Well, why don't we all know that milk is killing people?
Because I don't know if milk is killing people. I just don't think it has any benefits, but it can be inflammatory. There's certain parts of dairy that can be helpful. I'm not a medical advisor.
Well, our dishwasher is going crazy over there. That's probably what you're hearing right now. So we're gonna get close to wrapping this episode up. I feel
They
like
can't hear it.
You don't think they can hear it?
No.
It is making noise.
Whenever I would listen to somebody's YouTube, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear such and such in the back," and you can never hear what they're talking about. And it's like, girl, just talk.
Well, we are at close to the end of it, so we're gonna wrap this up in the next 5 minutes. So what I want to talk about is just the benefits of eating healthier. So first of all, you're gonna feel with more, you're gonna have more energy because those things that are heavier in your stomach or that is not good, full of oil and fried food, is gonna drag you down. So you're gonna be able to start having more energy, waking up early, which I love to do, having better sleep because you're not going to sleep with a bunch of heavy stuff on your body. Do you have any benefits real quick? Could wrapping this up.
Yeah, no, I tapped into a couple earlier. I would say really just pay attention to your body, right? Some people have bad acne, some people have headaches, some people have body aches. When you start really tapping into what things you're eating and how they're impacting your body, then your body will start cueing you in. And that's why it's such a personal thing. I know everybody's really familiar with Tabitha Brown's story, and I love it because she paid attention to her body. And she's not out here saying like everybody has to be vegan, but she understood and discerned the voice of God enough to know what I'm doing right now is killing me, but I think there's better for me. And so if I need to change my diet to increase the way that my life is, then I'm not going to give up my whole entirety of my life for a meal. So I feel like there are people they're giving up the joy of playing with their grandchildren, the joy of taking walks with their spouse for meals. And like food should energize you. Don't make it an idol where you are eating things that are killing you and you aren't willing to put your plate down and say, enough is enough. Let me eat things that actually are doing what they should do for my body, and don't make food something that it should not be in your life.
Agreed. And I just want to recap the practical steps that we have. One thing I would say is look at the grocery list that you have, making sure the stuff that you're bringing in your house is healthy. Do research on the foods that you're buying. Just because it's in the healthy section doesn't mean it's good. So many things have, like I said, those seed oils, like I was talking about the vegetables. I mean, the vitamins are supposed to be healthy. Not all of them are. So making sure you're looking at this. Cut out the fast food. It's gonna be hard. Everybody loves the Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A ain't good for you either. Cut out all those fast foods. If you go out, keep it at a minimum, but mainly just cook everything you are gonna eat, and also have vegetables, raw vegetables for every single meal. So that means morning time you can get avocado, lunchtime you can get a salad, and dinner you can get a salad. Figure it out, or even a smoothie during break time. But figure out things that you want to have that you're able to get not vitamins, vegetables in every single meal. You have any practical tips real quick? I know I went through a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think if you start making these small steps to examining what you're eating, thinking about how it makes you feel, thinking about how it makes you feel. Some people keep food journals so they can sort of write down, like, what am I eating? How do I feel after? Like, these things can feel tedious, but this is the joy and the wealth of your life. You don't want to have a calling and a ministry and things that God wants to do in your life, and you can't even be in agreement with it because your body won't carry you to the things that he's calling you to. And I think that was a huge thing for us. Like, we know the things that God is calling us to do individually as a couple, generations, the children that we'll have. We don't want our bodies to be a reason why we can't say yes to things that God wants to invite us into.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. But that's pretty much all we have. My wife will be leaving the links to the documentary, the articles, because I'm not doing it.
Sorry, you said leave, and I was like, where am I going? It's late. Yeah, I'll make sure.
All right, well, we're wrapping this up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you're listening on podcasts, rate the podcast. My name is Jelan Abrams. Her name is
My name is Slim Shady.
Jelan Abrams, Charnae Abrams, unknown and talented. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.